Yeah, hi friends. Welcome to our channel. In yesterday's class, in the previous class, we have discussed about definition of calendar. And today we are going to discuss about master data. What exactly the master data is and how many types of master data we being as a SD consultant has to deal with. The master data is the data which is stored centrally and used in day-to-day transactions wherever it is required. It is the data which cannot be changed frequently. And the main advantages of master data is it will save the time of the end users and it will avoid manual mistakes also. Actually, there are four types of master data. Those are customer master, material master, CMIR, nothing but customer material info record, and condition master. So a customer is an individual to whom we sell the goods. Customer is nothing but the person, an individual to whom we sell the goods. Let me go through the customer master. Let me log into SAP. Yeah, customer master. It is the data of the customer which is stored centrally and used in day-to-day transactions wherever it is required. And the customer master data consists of all the details related to the customer. For example, name, address, contact details, payment details, and sales details of the customer. And the transaction which we use to create the customer master is X301. Actually, we have some other transactions also to create the customer master. Those are nothing but VD01 as well as FD01. So here, if we use the transaction XD01 to create the customer, we can create the customer in the company code view as well as in the general view as well as in the sales area view. Means completely we can create the customer in XD01. And if we use the transaction VD01, we can create the customer in sales area view. In the same way, if we use the transaction FD01 to create the customer, we can create the customer in company code view only. So let me tell you how can we create the customer in XD01. Let me go through the transaction XD01. Here we have to give the account group which is nothing but 0001 sole to part, and the customer here it uses internal number, sorry, it uses external number, so we have to give a new. I have given the new number 777, oh sorry, 47s and 8, and our company code M100 and sales organization is M100, distribution channel is M1, and division is M1. And if we use M1 here, it directly go to give the details of the customer, but actually the configuration was made. But if you are doing it at the first time, you will get one error like this one, sales area M100 M1 MC. Here I have given MC as division, that's why only here MC. If you are doing it at the first time for M100 M1 and M1, you will get an error like this, as sales area M100 M1 M1 is not defined for the customers. So for which what you have to do is you have to go through the path SPRO and SAP reference IMG. Here go through sales and distribution and go through master data, where you have to go through define common distribution channels. Here you have to give M100. See, here for M100 and distribution channel M1, I already have given these entries. But in your case, it will be blank. So you have to give the entries, like you have to give M1 here and M1 here, M2 here and M2 here, like this. This is what we have given here. So like this you have to do for the all distribution channels related to our sales organization. And for M200 we have only one distribution channel assigned, that is nothing but M3. So here we are going to give M3, and this is mainly the concept related to common distribution channel. What exactly is the common distribution channel? If the company is having multiple means if the company is having multiple distribution channels, if the sales organization is having multiple distribution channels, and if the customer has to be create for each distribution channel, it will what this consume the time of the end user. So instead of creating the customer for all distribution channels, we can create the customer for a common distribution channel. What it means is we can create a new distribution channel which is nothing but the common distribution channel, and we will assign that common distribution channel here. For example, let me tell you how to create the common distribution channel. Actually we won't use it in the real what is this in the real scenarios, but for your information I'm just going to define a common distribution channel. Okay, let me going to create a new distribution channel. Go to infrastructure, definition, sales and distribution, and define distribution channel. Here our distribution channel is nothing but common distribution. Okay, I'm going to save it now. Then we have to assign the distribution channel to our sales organization. So in the assignment part, in the sales and distribution, we have to assign the distribution channel to the sales organization. So our sales organization here is M100. The distribution channel is MC, nothing but the common distribution channel. So now I'm going to assign it here in our common distribution channels. So for M100, if the distribution channel is M1, we use the common distribution channel here also, here also, here also. Then we save it. So if we are going to create the customer, then we have to give MC instead of M1. And if we give M1, then surely it will give us one error message. Surely it will give us the error message. As for example, let me create a customer. Because the division M1 is there. See here. Because the distribution channel M1 is not there. So we have given a common distribution channel. Okay. This is another error. Yeah. Now I have given the customer number also. See. Now we can go into creation of the customer. So I'm going to roll back the changes. This is just I have given to explain you what exactly the common distribution channel concept is. So like this, we have common division concept also. In real time, we won't use this common distribution channel concept, but we will use this common division concept. So here, let me go through our our divisions. For M100, we have M1, M2, M3, and M4 and M5. So if you want to assign a common division in the same way how we have created the distribution channel, you can create the division and you can assign the common division here. Okay, I think you are clear. So let me go to creation mode of the customer. So we have already made the changes. So I'm creating the customer as DVD. and the search term is also DBD, and the street is something. House number, I will give something here. Okay, I have given some pin code and the city. The country is India. The region is 01. So here we can create or we can define the new transportation zones. So already we have two default transportation zones, and this is what we have created. So we can click on this one, create new values, and we can click on continue without specifying the project. And in shipping, sorry, in a transportation, we can define new transportation zones. So we directly go through this path. We can go through this path and we can create the new entries here. The country is India and the transportation zone is IND 0002. This is Western India. So I have saved it. Or else you just can go through the path also. Actually, there are two ways to create the values. You can go through the path here as in a logistic execution, transportation, basic transportation functions. Here in the routes and define the routes, route determination. Here define transportation zones. So you can go through the path also to create the values. So here the new one which we have created, it is appearing here. So let me take this one. Okay, already I have created a customer with the same name, not Medicudi. Let me Medico. Okay, and here the time zone is India. So let me go through the control data. Here we need not fill anything. And in payment transactions, we will give the what is this? The customer bank details. So if the customer share the bank details, the company has to maintain the bank details of the customer. So the bank details of the customer will be saved here. And now we are going through the next tab, which is nothing but a marketing. So being as an STD consultant, we have to define these we have to define the new entries to these fields. For example, let us take the first one, Nelson ID. Nelson ID, this is the field which helps to track the customers who are located in the market survey regions. Whenever the company is launching the new products, they will do the market survey. So if the customer is located in the market survey regions, then they have to maintain the Nelson ID here. So whenever a product is getting launched, then they can able to track the customers who are located in that market survey regions, and they can offer discounts or whatever it may be, or they can offer some sample materials to the customers who are located in the market survey regions. For example, let me create some Nelson IDs, and this is the path to create the Nelson ID. Let me go through PRO, sales and distribution, master data, and business partners, where customers, here marketing, and we have to click on define Nelson IDs. Okay, here already we have created four Nelson IDs, M1, M2, M3, and M4. If you want, you can create a new one. Okay. So let me go through the customer again. Yeah, here we can assign one of the Nelson IDs which we have created. I have assigned here M1. And the next field is customer classification. Classifying the customers based on their sales turnover. We can classify the customers based on their sales turnover. The purpose of customer classification is for analysis and reporting, as well as for discounts and for fixing the credit limits of the customer. So we can define the new customer classifications here in the path. Let me go through SPRO, SAP reference IMG, here sales and distribution, master data, then the business partners, here customers, marketing. So define customer classifications. So here already I have defined two classifications. So you can define whatever you want. It will be based on the requirement of the business. So let me assign one customer classification here, M1. Okay. So the next field is industry. What exactly the field industry here is? We are classifying the customers based on the industry to which they are belongs to. The purpose of this field is also for reporting and analysis, as well as to provide the discounts of the customer. If the company would like to provide the discount only to the people, means only to the customers who are related to the industry pharmaceutical, then they can use the then they can use the industry code to give the discounts to the customer. For example, already we have created two industries. Let me Already we have created few industries. Yeah, here if you go into this, yeah, I have created two industries. One is M100 and second one is M200. M100 is pharma, M200 is retail industry. So you can also create based on the requirement. And let me assign the industry here. Yeah, I have assigned pharmaceutical industry. Okay, and industry code 1. This field will be used to further classifying, means this field will be used to further classify the industry. If we take the pharma industry, then if we would like to classify the pharma industry further into generic and non-generic, then we can define like. So if you would like to create the new industry codes, then you have to go through this path and you have to define the industry sector codes here. So you can define here. Then the next one is a regional market. Every company will classify the local market into A or B or C or D or whatever it may be, like this. So in this field, we will maintain some entries like A, B or C, like that. So which tells that the customer is belongs to A class or the customer is belongs to B class, like this. The purpose of this field is for analysis and for reporting purpose. And hierarchy segment, sorry, hierarchy assignment. We use this field for the customer who are having hierarchy concept. For example, if we take Big Bazaar, for example, the Big Bazaar is located in Andhra Pradesh as well as in Telangana. In Andhra Pradesh, we can see it in Vijayawada as well as in Visakhapatnam. So, like this, if we are what is this? If we are closely watching, then we can come to know a tree or a hierarchy tree of the company. So, if the company is having hierarchy level, then we can assign the hierarchy assignment here. So, hierarchy assignment will help us to assign the higher level to the customer. This is what we can cover in the what is this in a special class in a separate session. That's what will be covered later, but for now we are going to the next field, that is nothing but annual sales. Annual sales are nothing but the key figures which helps us to compare the last year sales with the present year sales. For example, let me give like 50,000 Indian rupees. The sales were happened in 2020. So we can compare the last year sales with the present year sales. So we can maintain the annual sales of the customer. Then let us go to unloading points. Here we can give the address means we can give the unloading point of the customer where the customer would like to receive the material. So here the customer Medico would like to receive the material in the Vijayawada Medico office. So I have given unloading point as Vijayawada Medico office. And here we can give the customer calendar. So, so far we have already discussed about the creation of the calendar. So you can create the customer calendar in the same way. So you can create and you can assign the calendar here. And this is the transaction to create the calendar. SCAL. So here if you go through the factory calendar, you can create a new calendar here. For example, let me create C2 Medico calendar, for example. Okay, and I'm going to give the holiday calendar as F1. And see, if the customer would like to receive the material only on Wednesday or only on Monday, so what we can do is we can check only Monday as the working day to the customer. Okay, so if we check only Monday as the working day to the customer and if we save this calendar, then if we assign the calendar to the customer here, what is the ID which I have created? I think it is C2 only, right? Please enter valid. Okay, okay. It was not created successfully. Now it got created. So let me assign C2 here. So Medico calendar got assigned here. So this customer can receive the goods only on Monday because Monday is only the working day to the customer. Then the next one is good receiving hours. So at what time the customer would like to receive the good? So here already I have defined C1, and if you want I can define the new entries also. Let me go through PRO, SAP project reference IMG, sales and distribution, master data, business partners, customers, shipping, then define good receiving hours. So here already I have created C1, and now we can create a new one, new entry in C2. C2 is nothing but medical goods receiving hours. So Monday is only the working day, right? So we can do 9 to 10 as well as 14 to 16. So Monday from 9 to 10, the customer can receive the goods. In the same way, from 14 to 16 means evening 2 to 4, he can receive the goods. So I'm just going to save it. So we can assign the same thing here. C2 is the goods receiving hours which we have created for this customer. Okay, so the details came here, right? Now you can save it. Yeah, here it is asking the reconciliation account because we have so far completed the general data of the customer. Now we have to wait a while, please. Let me complete this detail. Yeah. Actually, I have created that customer. Let me go through the change mode of that customer. Okay. So here we have checked the goods receiving hours, right? Then we can give the export data as well as contact person who is responsible to receive the goods. We can give all the details here. Then the next one is company code data, and FI consultant is responsible to define the company code data. Here in the reconciliation account, actually we have some entries here. So I have many entries here, but initially while you are practicing, you will get one error now that there will be no entries in the reconciliation account. You cannot find any entries in the reconciliation account. So what you have to do is, first of all, you have to go through the transaction OBY6. Okay, in OBY6, OB this one OBY6. In OBY6, you have to go to your company code, that is nothing but M100. Then here you have to give the chart of account as INT and fiscal year variant as V3 and field status variant as 1000 and posting period variant as 1000. Here fiscal year variant, there are two types of fiscal year variants which we use. One is V3 and second one is K4. V3 means if the financial year is starting from April to March, then we use the fiscal year variant as V3. And if the financial year starts from January to December, then we use the fiscal year variant as K4. In India, we use fiscal year variant as V3. So I'm going to save it. So again, you have to go to one more transaction, that is nothing but OBY2. Okay, here the company code, you have to give the company code M100, nothing but our company code, and you have to copy the entries from 1000, the standard company. Okay, you have to copy the entries from 1000. So I'm giving the company code 1000 here, and you have to uncheck test run and you have to execute. So you will get one message like this. You will get one warning message that you are going to do some production run. Not an issue, you just click on this one. Then the entries from the company code 1000 to our company code will be get copied. It will take some time. Then later you can come to know what exactly the entries GL accounts which were already copied. Already, actually I have already previously copied, so it's not allowing me to copy again. So that's why only it is showing that copying is not possible due to the existing entries in the target company code. So once you do that, then go back to the create mode of the customer, and you can assign the reconciliation account here. Okay, so you have to assign the reconciliation account 1,40,000. Before that, you should come to know what exactly this reconciliation account is. It is the GL account which will help to accumulate the total outstandings of the customer, and when we are creating the invoice in SAP, the system generates accounting entry, right? And the accounting entry is customer account debit to revenue account credit. So here, for the customer account, system determines the GL account from this reconciliation account. I will explain you it in upcoming classes, because where we create the invoice in which we can find the accounting entries, accounting document. So where I can explain you all these things. So for now, you have to give 1,40,000 as the reconciliation account. Then go through the payment transactions. The next one is payment transactions. Here, the first one is terms of payment. So here we are going to give the standard one, 0001. But I will explain you how to create the terms of payment in the upcoming session. I can take one complete session for creation of the terms of payment. But for now, just to create the customer, we have to give the standard one, 0001. What exactly the terms of payment here is? It is an agreement between the company and the customer for the number of days given to the customer to make the payment. So here in the terms of payment, we will maintain all the things. So here in 0001, if you open this one, then you can see all the terms there. So we will create a new one where you can come to know what exactly the terms which we are going to mention. Then let us go through the sales area data. The sales area data is further classified into 4 tab pages: sales, shipping, billing, and partner functions. In sales, we can see sales district, sales office, sales group, customer group, ABC classification, currency, all these fields. So the first one is sales district. What exactly the sales district is? It is a sub classification of the sales office. Previously, we have defined the sales office as M100. So here the sales district is. So we can define the new entries in the sales district. Actually, previously we have defined M100, right, as AP sales office. So if the if the management is asking the sales reports below to the sales office level, then we have to define the sales district. Let me show you the path where we can define the sales district. Go to SPRO, this one, and go to sales and distribution, master data, business partners, customers, and sales. Here sales district. So we can define the new entries here. So I have defined M100 Vijayawada, M200 Srikakulam. Then the next one is sales group. Already we have defined the sales group in the previous session. And the next one is customer group. So this is the field which we can help which can help us to group the customers who can share the same or the common attributes. For example, this is the customer 478 Medico, who is belongs to the distribution channel dealer. But if we would like to further classify the dealers, means if we would like to group the dealers like bulk dealers or medium dealers or low dealers like that, so we can create some customer groups and we can assign to them. Here we have created M1 as the bulk dealer. So if you would like to create the dealers here you can define new customer groups. So M1 bulk dealers, M2 medium, M3 low level dealers, like this. So let me go back to the customer master. Field is ABC classification. We classify the customers into A class, B class and C class, like that. So we can classify the customers here. We can give A or B or C, like this. So this customer is belongs to A class. And the next one is currency. Here we will maintain the currency in the customer master if the customer country is different to the company's country. For example, the company code exists in India, and if the customer is belongs to US, and if the customer's currency is different, then we will maintain the customer's currency here. So if the customer is belongs to America, then we will use the customer currency as American dollar. So if the customer is belongs to India, we will use the customer currency as INR. Then the next field is switch off rounding. If we check this field, the system will not perform the rounding to the quantity decimals. What it means? It means if the product is petrol, for example, and if the quantity is 1.1 liter, then if we switch off rounding, then the rounding will not perform. It will get switch off. So the bill will be generated for 1.1 liter. And if we uncheck the switch off rounding, then the quantity decimals will get round off to 1 and the bill will get generated for 1 quantity. And this is what is about switch off rounding. And the next one is the probability. This field specifies, after placing the order from the customer, what are the chances that the customer will stick on it. So if the other probability is 100%, then the customer can stick on 100%. So here if it is 50%, then the customer can stay up to 50%. What it means and why we have to maintain it. For example, if we have two customers who has ordered the same product for the same quantity which is only available. For example, if the quantity of a material X is available as 100 quantity, and the customer A also placed the order for 100 quantity and customer B also placed the order for 100 quantity. And if the order probability of the customer is 100 and if the order probability of the customer B is 50, then the order will be confirmed to the customer A because his order probability is higher than the B. That's why only we usually find what are this similar issues in Flipkart or Amazon or whatever it may be in the e-commerce website. Once we create the order, after such time we will get one message that sorry for the inconvenience, your order was means the material is not available, because that might got assigned to the high probability customer. Okay, then the next one is item proposal. What exactly the item proposal here is? Listing the materials which the customer regularly orders. and calling the list while we are creating the sales order. Item proposal will mainly save the time of the end users. For example, if this customer Medico is placing the order for Dolo 650 as well as Budecot 400 and Levolin, so these are the three materials for which for which the customer is regularly placing the orders. So instead of entering all the materials again and again, if we create an item proposal and while the users are creating the sales order, if we are calling the item proposal there, the material will automatically fill in the sales order. Then we can enter the quantities and we can deliver the materials to the customer. So it mainly saves the time of the end user. If the company is having an agreement with the customer for a fixed exchange rate throughout the month, then we have to maintain the exchange rates here. We can see some exchange rates here. M, standard transaction at average rate, and P, the standard transaction for cost planning. So we can assign anyone based on the requirement of the business. Then the next one is PP, customer procedure. We use this field for cross-selling as well as for product proposal. So cross-selling means selling the additional products along with the main product to the customer. If the company would like to sell additional products to the customer along with the product means main product, then they will use the concept of cross-selling. Here we can find two entries. A is for product proposal and B is for cross-selling. So we use here B. And what exactly the product proposal is? The product proposal is nothing but automatic determination of the item proposal. So here, if we use product proposal, then automatically whatever the item proposal is in here will get determined into the sales document. So here the next one is price group. Grouping of the customers who will share the same pricing attributes. So price group will be used to maintain the discounts, and price group will be helps us to simplify the maintenance of pricing. We can define new entries also by just clicking on this one, and we can actually we have defined some new entries here: bulk buyers, new buyers, or occasional buyers. So if you want, you can also define the new price groups. So here I am going to assign M1 as the new price group. If you would like to define the new price groups, here in billing, so the next one is price group. So here we can assign or we can define new price groups and we can assign to the. So price group means grouping of the customer who will share the same pricing attribute. Price group will be used to maintain the discounts, and the price group will also helps us to simplify the maintenance of pricing. Then the next one is customer pricing procedure. It is one of the parameters to determine the pricing procedure into the sales document. So what exactly the pricing procedure is and how we have to determine, that's what will be covered in the upcoming sessions. So here actually if we use the transaction OVKK, where we can see the pricing procedure determination. So the pricing procedure will be get determined based on sales organization, distribution channel, division, document pricing procedure and customer pricing procedure. This customer pricing procedure will fetch from the customer master. Let me go through our customer. Yeah, that will be fetched from this customer master. So we can define and we can assign the new entries also here in customer pricing procedure. Then the next one is price list. Grouping of the customers who will share the same base price. Price list will be used only to maintain the base price. Price list will be helps to simplify the maintenance of the base price. So if we go through this one, here we can see some entries. So the company would like to give wholesalers at one price, to retailers at one price, to what is this distributors at one price, to industries a separate price. So if the company would like to give means give differentiation in the base price to the customers, then they can define the price lists here. So in our project we would like to give two types of we would like to define two types of price lists. They are M1 nothing but the standard price and M2 nothing but the discounted price. So for some customers we would like to use M1 and for some customers we would like to use M2. So let me click on M1. So the next field is customer statistics group. This field controls whether to update whether to update the customer's sales data into LIS or not. LIS means logistics information system. It is a management reporting tool. So if the customer details has to be updated or not, that's what will be controlled by this field. So if we check this one, means if we give the entry as 1, then this customer is relevant for statistics to be means relevant for the data to be uploaded into LIS. Then the next tab is shipping. Here the first one is order combination. This field is a prerequisite to combine multiple orders into single delivery. If we check this field, then the system will allow us to combine multiple orders into single delivery. If there are 2 to 3 orders or if there are 4 orders of this customer, if yeah, if the Medico has created 4 orders, then if we would like to send a single means a combined delivery to the customer, then this field has to be checked here. Then the next field is delivery priority, classifying the customers into high priority customers and medium priority customers and low priority customers. So we can classify the customers based on their priority. So here we have defined, here we are having some entries of high priority customer, low, normal. Okay, normal and low. So we can give the priority of the customer here. The purpose of delivery priority is it will help to process back orders as well as rescheduling. Let me tell you what exactly the back orders and rescheduling. Back orders means whenever the high delivery priority customer place an order and if the stock of the material is not available and they would like to go back to the open orders of low delivery priority customer and they cancel the confirmations and assign the quantities to the high delivery priority customers. Okay, this is what is back order. And rescheduling is nothing but doing the back order process automatically by the system. So for this purpose, we will use the delivery priority. And the next one is delivering plant. Give the plant here from which the customer like to get the material. Actually, we have two plants, M100 and M200. So here I am giving M100. And there is a separate criteria to determine the plant into sales document. That's what I can cover in the upcoming session. So complete delivery required by law. This one. Okay, before that, let us go through the relevant for POD. Relevant for POD. POD means proof of delivery. It's nothing but an acknowledgement. So if we check this one, then the system will not allow to create the invoice to the customer until they get the acknowledgement from the customer. And here, if we check this one, then we have to give the POD time frame also. If you mention some number of days here, and if the customer fail to send the acknowledgement within the time frame, then the system will allow to create the invoice to the customer and to the total quantity which was delivered, for example. So here let us give the time frame as 10. So we are giving a time frame of 10 days to the customer. If the customer can send the acknowledgement within 10 days, it's okay. Or else the system will create the invoice for the quantity which it was got, sorry, for the quantity which got delivered to the customer. Then the next one is complete delivery required by law. If you check this one, then the system will not allow to create the partial deliveries, and system will not allow to confirm partial quantities also. Generally, government customers will have this check. If a government customer place an order, they should get the full quantity at a time. So in those cases, we will check this one, complete delivery required by law. And here we can see two options. One is partial delivery per item and the second one is maximum partial deliveries. So the first one is partial delivery per item. This field controls whether the partial deliveries are allowed or not, and it also controls how many maximum partial deliveries to be allowed to the customer. If partial delivery per item is blank, for example this one, if the partial delivery per item is blank, then the partial delivery is allowed. And if the partial delivery is A, if the yeah, if the partial delivery per item is blank, then you can restrict the maximum partial deliveries up to 9. So here the maximum partial deliveries we can restrict up to 9. And if the partial delivery per item is D, for example, if it is D, no limit to the subsequent deliveries. And if it is C, only complete delivery allowed. Means the what is this one, the complete delivery as it works on, as it works, sorry, cut. And if it is C, then the system will allow only complete delivery. Then the next one is unlimited tolerance. If you check this one, the system will allow to increase or decrease the quantities in the delivery document without having any limitations. And if would like to limit the cut. Yeah, the next one is unlimited tolerance. If you check this one, then the system will allow to increase or decrease the quantities in the delivery document without having any limitations. And if we would like to put some limitations, then if the under delivery tolerance is, for example, 50%, okay, and over delivery tolerance is also 50%. So what it means is, if the customer places an order for a material with the quantity of 100, then we can make the changes to that quantity in the delivery document up to the under delivery tolerance of 50 and up to the over delivery tolerance of 50. So we can make it 50 or else we can make it 150, because we have the both under delivery tolerance as well as the over delivery tolerance. Okay, and if we have made the changes to the quantity to 25, then the system will give us one error message, because here the under delivery tolerance is only up to 50%. 50% of 100 is 50, so it will allow only up to 50. It won't allow to, it won't allow beyond 50. In the same way, it won't allow beyond 50, beyond 50% also. So this is what is about under delivery tolerance and over delivery tolerance. Then the next one is billing documents. Then the next tab is billing documents. Here we can check rebate. Rebate is a special kind of discount, and it is a conditional discount which will be valid over a specific period of time. This field is a prerequisite to process the rebates for a customer. So if we would like to process the rebates to the customers, so rebates is one of the prerequisite. Then the next one is invoicing dates. If the client's requirement is invoice to be raised only on specific days of the every month for all the deliveries made during the period of the month, then we have to use invoicing dates. So what exactly it means is, if client's requirement is to create, means the client has placed many orders, and if their requirement is to get the invoice only on specific date of the month, then we can give an invoice date here. So on the same date, the invoices will be get generated to the customer. So if we would like to configure the invoice dates, then we can configure and we can assign the invoice dates here. But the configuration of invoice dates will be covered in another video that will be uploaded shortly. Invoicing list dates. In SAP, each customer will be further classified into 4 partner functions. As we can see here, the partner functions: sold to party. Sold to party is nothing but the customer who will place the order. And ship to party. Ship to party is nothing but the customer who will receive the goods. And bill to party. Bill to party is nothing but the customer who will receive the bill. And payer, who is nothing but the customer who makes the payment. Consolidating all the invoices raised to the different bill to parties and send one, what is this, bill to the payer is called as invoicing list dates. Here, if there are multiple bill to parties, and consolidating all the bill to parties and send the invoice to the payer, by consolidating all the bill to purchase invoices, then we can use this invoicing list dates. I will explain you how to create invoicing dates and how to create invoicing list dates in the coming session. Then the next one is Incoterms. Incoterm is nothing but it is an international commercial terms which is an agreement between the shipper and the receiver for the successful completion of delivery. For example, let us take CIF, cost, insurance, and freight. It has to be bear by the customer. Incoterms, yeah, cost, insurance, cost, insurance, and freight, which has to be bear by the customer. Incoterms specifies who is responsible for what, means who is responsible for cost, who is responsible for freight, all these things. And the next one is terms of payment. It is an agreement between the company and the customer for the number of days given to make the payment. This one. So here we can define the new terms of payment. As I have told you already, we will define the new terms of payment and we can assign it here. I will explain you how to create the new terms of payment. Not an issue. Then the next one here is payment guarantee procedure. Generally, we maintain this for export customers. Any customer, if you maintain this field, then along with the sales order, the customer has to submit the payment guarantee. That is nothing but the letter of credit. I think we can hear the word letter of credit, right? LOC, or the bank guarantees. So here the customer, if the customer fail to submit letter of credit or bank guarantee, then the system will not allow to create the delivery to that customer. So without configuring the credit management, order is blocked for the credit. Then what will be the reason? So there may be the reason that the customer is liable for payment guarantee procedure also. So mostly we will face such type of questions in the interview. Then the next one is partner functions. So as we have already covered, there are four types of partner functions: sold to party, ship to party, bill to party, and payer. And we have covered what exactly the sold to party is, and what is bill to party, what is ship to party, and what is payer is. So I think we can conclude the session for today, and we can what is this? Create the terms of payment and invoicing list dates and invoicing dates in the upcoming sessions. Thank you. Bye.